Whew. I pushed that button a little too fast, you all, and the live stream came on. It did. It came on. That's a little embarrassing, but that's okay, you all. I ended that video, so if you had just tuned in to it, I hit the button on my OBS. So that's okay. That is all right. I want to thank you for joining. So hydrogen sulfide. And I thought, wow, that's very interesting, hydrogen sulfide, because I wondered, what am I going to do a video on? What am I going to do a video on? I could have looked at the FAA webcams again, because I certainly seen more of the same images across different areas of North America that was seen yesterday. I did, and I thought, you know, that cannot be just a camera effect or anything like that. There is something up there, you also. But I thought hydrogen sulfide and the gates of hell found in Turkmenistan. So thank you all for joining. If you're just tuning in, can you hear me? Yes, I am working, you all. That's right. King Ahuka Mundo, Apple Brooks. And thank you for joining. Yes, hello everyone. I didn't know what was going to happen with that, because Gina, I didn't even come onto the YouTube and I pushed this silly OBS button, but that's all right. So let's talk about Uranus first, or Uranus, however you want to say it. We want to come over. Okay, good. I'm right here. I'm right here, you all. We want to come over to Uranus. So how did I do this last time? Did I do the split screen to see if I can get this on here? You all, I'm trying to do this. So we're going to see it. We're going to look at it. Yes, we are. I hope we are. Yay, we got this. I'm on here too. Isn't that wonderful? How did I get myself on here? That's okay. I like to be on here with you all. That's wonderful. Hello in Germany. Guten Tag. Yes, or Guten Abend, or Guten Nacht. Yes, hello. Thank you all. Hola. Yes, hello, bang, bang, maka, bang. We are looking at Uranus right here. And you notice, when I saw this, I thought, certainly, that looks strange for a planet. And look at this. It says, Uranus's atmosphere smells like rotten eggs due to hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide, you all. Let me just... Let me go right there. Let me just click right here. Hydrogen sulfide is found in the clouds, upper clouds of Uranus. Right there. And I did not know that, you know, and it says that, but look like this, smells like rotten eggs. That's what, whoa, Gina, honey, you gotta settle down. I'm having a hot flash, you all. Smells like rotten eggs. And then I thought, well, that's interesting, because when I looked at that, before I looked at that, I was looking at this right here, the gates of hell in Turkmenistan. Look at this, you all. That you can find this right here on the Atlas Obscura. So have you all ever heard of that? The gates of hell right here. Have you heard of that? Let me try to, Gina, we can open up this screen, make it big for you. The gates of hell. Let's look at this, because it literally looks like the big fiery... I got to shrink myself, you all. I need to shrink myself on here. Let me see if I can shrink myself. Can I shrink myself? I'm going to shrink myself down. It's like that. I'm going to do it for you. I want to be a little small. I'm going to be small in this video to get myself out of the way. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Make myself small. Am I small enough on here, you all? Because I don't want to be in the way of these pictures. Gina, we can do this if I can get my screen fixed. Let's look at this. Let's look at these pictures of the gates of hell. And it really does. It looks really hot. Oof. Ooh, I guess we've entered the slideshow, you all. If I can shrink down this screen. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it because I made the screen too big. Okay, you all. I'm not going to touch it. Gina, I need to quit touching that screen. That's what I need to do, quit touching the screen. But I wanted to touch it. I really did. Okay, look at that. So it's a great big, let's look at this. It is a hole. Look at this hole in this village right here. in the desert in Turkmenistan near 350-person village of Darvaza is a hole 250 feet wide, and it has been on fire for over 50 years. Why haven't I heard of that? Why haven't you heard of that? Perhaps you have heard of that. Perhaps no one ever thought about, hey, is there something called the gates of hell on earth? Well, I guess there's something there, you all. I guess there is, really. That's right. Yeah, so look at this. So though technically called Darvaza Gas Crater, locals know the crater as the gates of hell. Its fiery glow can be seen from miles around. And I bet it can be seen from above also. So the Gates of Hell crater was created in 1971 when a Soviet drilling rig accidentally punched into a massive underground natural gas cavern, causing the ground to collapse and the entire drilling rig to fall in. And having punctured a pocket of gas, poisonous fumes began leaking at an alarming rate. Yes, we're going to have something on here. So to head off a potential environmental catastrophe, the Soviets set the hole alight, figuring it would stop burning within a few weeks. Decades later, the fiery pit is still going strong. The Soviet drilling rig is believed to be still down there somewhere. Right, there's nothing left of it on the other side of the gates of hell. So, amazingly, despite the crater's foreboding name and ever-present flames, people still trek into the desert to witness the site in all its blazing glory. And the country's government hopes it will become a tourist site. This was back in 1971, this article of the Gates of Hell. So let's look at that. Doesn't that look interesting? You know what this reminds me of? A great big crater on the moon and stuff like that. It kind of does. Look at that. Can you all see that? Because I probably have better. I can make my screen a tad bit bigger. Maybe it will help see it better, you all. I never knew that. Why would they set that on fire? And is it causing pollution? Is it heating up? Where's the ozone at? Okay, do we got a hole in the ozone somewhere? Is what I want to know. Look at that. You know they are bound to see that from above, you all. They're bound to have seen it. No, Brett Hill, that sounds very kind of scary. I don't want to look at a flesh pit. That sounds like it's scary. And I don't need that in my mind. I really don't need nothing gory. If it's gory, Gina don't want to go there. I don't, you all. So look at that. So it could be seen from space, I would assume. So then, okay, this has got the hydrogen sulfide in it. Okay, that's what it's got. Poisonous fumes leaking out. All right, so poisonous fumes leaking out. So then I thought, so we found that scientists confirms that Uranus smells, and then there's something about tall white aliens, and I thought, you've got to be kidding, tall white aliens? And then this is right here, aliens and UFO sightings. Aliens and UFO sightings. Now look at this. So you would say, look at this. Would aliens use the same fuel as us? If not, what would they use? So would aliens on an entirely different planet to Earth, still use the same rocket fuel as us? If not, what are the alternatives? Velocity, blah, 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 blah. So I wanted to know if they were going to use the same air and stuff that we breathe. Look, is it possible that oxygen is toxic for alien species? Is it possible, they say? Absolutely. In fact, it was poisonous for the very first living thing to ever evolved. Anaerobic bacteria? The great oxygenation vent was called the oxygen catastrophe, oxygen crisis. The oxygen holocaust, the oxygen revolution. I'd never heard of any of that, you all. I haven't. None of it. Hadn't heard of any of it. Now, we don't need to read about the avatars because, you know, these avatars, they're on some kind of other land, and the humans control them is what happens. The humans control the avatars. You saw what today, Roxanne? Roxanne, honey, you saw something today? What did you see? What did you see? Yeah, so look at this. So Uranus. I don't know where they got. I don't know where I saw like the tall white aliens, but look at this. On Uranus, astronomers have long argued over whether hydrogen sulfide or ammonia dominate Uranus's clouds. Look, it is well known that the inner massive planets, Jupiter and Saturn, have an atmosphere dominated by ammonia ice. I didn't know that. Did you all know that? I didn't know they had ammonia ice in their atmospheres. Did you all know that? That's really strange. Whereas Uranus and presumably Neptune do not. So it's those very differences in the atmospheric compositions that Jupiter and Saturn in the gas giant category and Uranus, Neptune in the ice category. And there are differences that reveal an insight as to where the planets were formed. What do you mean, where were they formed? So we've got this ammonia. We got during our solar system's formation, the balance between nitrogen and sulfur, hence ammonia, and Uranus's newly detected hydrogen sulfide was determined by the temperature and location of the planet's formation. So we're talking about that. Yeah, would the smell of their atmosphere kill us? I think we wouldn't be able to live there. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to breathe it. We would look. Suffocation and exposure in the negative 200 degrees Celsius atmosphere, made mostly of hydrogen, helium, and methane, would take its toll long before the smell would get you. So let me look over here, you all. Let's look at this right here. Oh, the aliens. Oh, thank you, Roxanne. So yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be talking about is the aliens. Okay, that's right. Thank you for keeping me on track. I need to stay on track. So he's looking at Uranus. Okay. And he's talking about these aliens. When we find aliens, they may breathe hydrogen. They may breathe hydrogen? Oh, that's interesting. Let's see what that says in verse. So, when we find aliens, they may breathe hydrogen, not oxygen. So why are they even suggesting that? Why are they even saying that? Let's make this right here. So for the first time we find evidence of life on a planet orbiting another star, or look how this highlights in red. Isn't that pretty? An exoplanet. It is probably going to be by analyzing the gases in the atmosphere. And with the number of known Earth-like planets growing, we could soon discover gases in an exoplanet's atmosphere that are associated with life on Earth. Okay, well, that's fine, life on Earth. But what if alien life uses somewhat different chemistry to ours? A new study published in Nature Astronomy argues that our best chances of using atmospheres to find evidence of life are to broaden our search from focusing on planets like our own to include those with a hydrogen atmosphere. Now, see, no, we don't want to find what's wrong with our atmosphere. Why do we got to have somebody has a hydrogen atmosphere, you all? Well, that means that we wouldn't be on this Earth, okay? Because we got to have the air that we breathe. But if you looking for a planet where they breathe in hydrogen like that, hydrogen sulfide and stuff, Ramlin. Yeah, there was something about that. There was something about what you just said, like right here. Well, it wasn't this one right here. There was something here I saw about what you're talking about, and it was probably it's not in the RD whatever things. I think they said life on Earth first started like that. I think that's what they said way back then, is what I think they said, but I'm not certain. I really am not certain of it at all. So, so we're still over here looking at like that. Okay, and we already went to that. I already went back to that. We went back over here, you all. Where did I see that? Well, this is right here. Shiva Lignan meteorite. Okay, a meteorite. Okay, let's look at this. So this is interesting. So you've brought that up. So this is this website. Now this is the Quran, cherubim, the mosque, a platform. I wanted to see something in here about, I don't know where that would be in here. The Vedas. I don't know where it would be in here, you all. I really don't. But this, from this link right here, hydrogen sulfide and hydrogen, we'll just read this right here. This is the only thing I read anyhow. Hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen cyanide, and ultraviolet light are 3 basic ingredients that can produce more than 50 nucleic acids, which are precursors to DNA and, to DNA and to RNA molecules. Shiva Lingam meteorites carried with them ingredients, compounds containing iron, cyanide, and carbon monoxide that would react with nitrogen already in the atmosphere. So this talks about, that's pretty interesting, 3 basic ingredients that can produce, that sounds scary. Hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen cyanide, and ultraviolet light are 3 basic ingredients that can produce more than 50 nucleic acids, which are precursors to DNA and RNA molecules. That's really interesting. It really is. That is so interesting. So I wanted to, there was something on here about people's and these UFOs is what it was about, and I'm having a hard time finding it because I looked at the questions and I got myself distracted, you all. I really did. So let's see this. I want to see if we could see this right here. I don't like this word right here, you all. I really don't. I don't like to use that word. I'm not that type of person. I really am not. So I wanted to see. Oh yeah, look at this. So is it possible that oxygen is toxic for alien species? So the answer is, let me, this is what I read. That's right. That's good. So we can look at this. We're just going to look at a little bit of this. Absolutely. In fact, it was poisonous for the very first living thing to have ever evolved, the anaerobic bacteria. Oh, we already read that. Okay, that's okay, you all. We already read it. Hello, you all. Hello. So yeah, that's right. And there was something on here where I read when people saw these UFOs, they there was like that rotten egg smell in the area where they had like went and saw that. They smelt it, and then like earthquakes. So like earthquakes, you all. Earthquakes and look, they got a game. The Gates of Hell. That doesn't look like a fun game. I don't want to play that game. Siberia, doorway to hell. Let's look at this. The doorway to hell in Siberia. Look at this. Their growing doorway to hell offers clues, and I'm not going to say that word, or a portal to the underworld. Scientists call it a crater, but everyone agrees it's getting bigger. So this is getting bigger right here. No, I don't want to look at that. So I can't watch it, you all, because it won't let me look at it. So I'm not going to really be on here much longer. I just wanted to see the UFOs is what I wanted to see. UFOs and smell of rotten eggs. I'm just going to say that because that's all right. It really is. We can go here. Look. Jump. Look. We're just going to look at these little headlines. Odors from UFOs. Can you all see that? Odors from UFO. Descriptor was the rotten egg smell, but he mentioned other nauseating stenches like rotting cabbage, whale oil. Oh, no. No, you all. We don't want to hear that. Oh, my gosh. Rotting human flesh. They discussed UFO odors in his book, The Eighth Tower. He states that many UFO and monster witnesses smell odors like rotten eggs. That sounds kind of scary. That really does sound kind of scary. So this is a book called The Eighth Tower. We don't want to go into that PDF, you all. Look at this. So UFOs, and I need to get this right. UFOs, Gina, honey, don't do that. And aliens and sulfur odors. Look, the smell of sulfur or rotten eggs has been associated with some UFO occupants and the presence of their crafts, and has been described associated with other creatures or entity sightings. Entity sightings. So entity, you know what an entity is. It could may not even look human. It may be transdimensional. You may not be able to see it, but it's there and you can smell it in the air. Have you ever been in this situation where you go somewhere? Let me see if I've got this to me. When you go somewhere and all of a sudden you feel this negative energy, or you feel like an evil presence, and you literally get sick to your stomach. You get nauseated. You get nauseated because you sense it around. Your senses have kicked in and you get so sick to your stomach. When you can feel their presence, your spirit feels their presence, and that's what happens. You get very nauseous. And those would be what you would call transdimensional beings or interdimensional beings, even though you may not be able to see them. But guess what? People can see them. There are people who can see into that realm. Okay, it's not a myth at all. It's not, as you can tell by that article that we read, that document, how that they were not going to propose any early warning systems with respect to Q or the black cloud, and then they talked about the trans-dimensional entities because they would be very disruptive. They don't know about it, you all, any of that. All of that, hello in there. Hello. So I wanted to come back here. I'm going to look at this because it's talking about, my nose is itching. Somebody must be talking about me. Look at this. So could it be possible that some of the occupants seen be phosphor or other life form based? Oh my gosh. Are you all getting this? They're saying that there could be, this is really interesting. If you're just tuning in, this is really interesting. They're talking about a life form that has like a gaseous like smell to it, an odor to it. That's really interesting. We got to look at this. We really do got to look at this. Let's come back here. Could it be possible that some of the occupants seen be phosphor or some other life form base other than carbon, perhaps explaining the odor? Wow. Look at that. Would phosphor, what's that look like? What does phosphor look like, you all? What does phosphor look like? Phosphor, a phosphor cloud. Let's look at that. A phosphor. I'm going to look at phosphor black cloud. Life form. I'm just going to type it in, you all. Oh my gosh, do you all just see this? Look at this. Look at this. This is interesting. A phosphor, look at this. A phosphor is a substance that exhibits the phenomenon of luminescence. Are you getting this? The phenomenon of luminescence. It emits light when exposed to a type of radiant energy. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is interesting. So the term is used both for fluorescent and phosphorescent substances which glow on exposure to ultraviolet or visible light, and cathode luminescent substances which glow when struck by an electron beam, a cathode ray or cathode ray tube. This is really interesting. And this person proposed, where were we at? What did they propose? Where did I find that at, you all? What was he on? We weren't right there. Right there. This person proposed, could it be possible that some of the occupants seen be phosphor or other life form base other than carbon, perhaps explaining the odor? So they're saying that phosphor could be like a life form. When it's exposed to radiation, the orbital electrons in its molecules are excited to a higher level. Well, that's what happens with the plasma lights. It really is with the high efficiency plasma lights. When the electrons spike, their molecules are excited to a higher energy level. And when they return to their former level, they may emit the energy as light of a certain color. So phosphorus can be classified in two categories: fluorescent substances, which emit the energy immediately and stop glowing when exciting the radiation is turned off, and phosphorescent substances, which emit the energy after a delay, so they keep glowing. This is really interesting. It really is. I didn't know that about it. But I wanted to know if they were going to classify that as a life form. I really did. That's really, look at this. A direct glow plug-in electroplasma night light with a black vase. Electroplasma night light. Okay, night light, you all. There's something going on with that black cloud. Okay, because they said, if they did show up, they would have to change their definition of what classified as life. And I think that plasma is living. I really do. I think it's living. This is strange. Sarah, honey, you got it on the head. Sarah, honey, what you saying? Sarah. Yes, Sarah, honey. Yes. So, look at this. So, this is an example of phosphorescence. Phosphorescence. There we go. Phosphorescence. That's right there. Oh, look at this. Look, we had monochrome monitors. And then we had aperture grill CRT phosphors. Look at that phosphorus. Fluorescence, absorption. I don't know what that means, any of it. I really don't. But that's really interesting. They got the glow in the dark. Look at all these lighting. All the different types of lighting. Glow in the dark toys, postage stamps, radioluminance, electroluminance. Okay, so we got radioluminance, zinc sulfide phosphors. We got electroluminance. We got white LEDs, cathode ray tubes, black and white TV. So there's something going on. But they want to talk about these aliens, you all. They want to talk about these aliens, the smell of rotten eggs, and this person saying, well, it could be phosphor or some other life form base other than carbon. So we are a carbon life form, are we? Are humans carbon life forms? Let's look about it. Humans are carbon based. Let's see. We can look at this. So if you didn't know about it, yes, humans are carbon-based life forms, and carbon is the most important element of life. About 18% mass consumption of the human body is composed of carbon. Oxygen is an abundant element in the human body with about 65% mass. Carbon is the basic unit for organic molecules. The basic unit for organic molecules, comes in second position. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, we're going to watch this. We're going to look at this spot right here, you all. We are going to look at that. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to make sure I'm there. So, carbon double bonds, on the other hand, form naturally and easily and are crucial for every living organism on Earth. Here's the big one right here, you all. Let's look at this. This is the big one right here. Let's look at it. If there were to be silicone-based life forms, the sheer chemistry of their atoms means that they would have to be built along very different lines to life on Earth. Okay, so you notice they use that word if again. If there were to be silicone-based life forms, their sheer chemistry of their atoms means they would have to be built along very different lines to life on Earth. That's really interesting. There's lots of lights all over the place. So human beings, let's see what else they're going to say. Look at this. Human beings are carbon-based life form. As we go about our lives, our supply chain of carbon diminishes and needs replacing. Carbon is therefore an essential component of the human diet. Luckily, the foods we consume make carbon readily available to us. Fruits, vegetables, grains, and meats all contain abundant stores of carbon. But what if happens if what if we had to eat you know that type, when I go down the country road here in the farmland, we got these signs that they stick out. They set out genetically modified or something. They had to put a sign in front of the crops that they are doing. I forget what they call those types of crops, but if you live in the country, I know you've seen it on the great big farming area. They tell you which type of GMO. That's what it is, GMO. They're genetically modified. Well, do they have carbon in them? I want to know if they got some carbon in them for us to eat, because we need some carbon is what we need. That's what we need. We need some carbon. So let me come over here, you all. So yeah, we need carbon. Look at this. The main shine on, you crazy diamond. Why humans are carbon-based. Oh, this is neat. The main one being is carbon. It would be impossible for life on Earth to exist without carbon. Carbon is the main component of sugars, proteins, fats, DNA, muscle tissue, pretty much everything. Carbon. Whoo! Let's look at this. Just this one more thing, you all. Carbon is a primary component of all known life on Earth, representing approximately 45 to 50% of all dry biomass. Carbon compounds occur naturally in great abundance on Earth. Complex biological molecules consist of carbon atoms bonded with other elements. All right. Especially oxygen and hydrogen. and frequently also nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur, collectively known as chinops. I never knew that. Chinops. Okay, you all. So chinops. All right, so that's look. Yeah. Look at this. Carbon is activated charcoal. A carbon-based substance, activated charcoal, very fine particles, can be a lifesaver. It's highly porous substance and able to bind to many harmful substances and used in hospital and emergency rooms to treat chemical overdoses. So I've done that before. I've taken some, let me talk about the firewood. I do. When your wood burns in your fireplace, let me talk about this. And you got this leftover wood, it's black, it's really light. That's can be grounded into activated charcoal powder. And or, if you were to drink some water that you didn't know about, you can have like a piece of that activated charcoal. You could chew it. You don't want to go get charcoal briquettes, okay, because that's not real activated charcoal, okay. You can grind up your firewood like that, the black, charcoal, in a fine powder. And you can put it on a spoon. You can drink it in a water if you have some toxins. If you have stomach ache or something like that, cramps in your stomach, it literally does get rid of it. Or if you you took too much stuff, you know what, they use that in the hospital rooms. You can also put it in capsules. It also gets rid of fungus on your feet and stuff like that. It has many beneficial uses. Carbon does. The activated charcoal powder. Yes, you are. Yeah, GMO, that's what I'm talking about. GMO, that's right, you all. So we see this right here. Hydrogen sulfide is found in Uranus and the gates of hell in Turkmenistan. And also aliens, UFO sightings. People have mentioned they smelt the smell of like rotten eggs. And or if you smell that smell, they said that you could have been smelling a different life form. Okay, a different life form, even though you didn't see it. And you can sense evil entities if you're that type of person that you're really sensitive to energies. It'll literally make you nauseous. Even just walking past someone or walking somewhere where that energy has been, because energy does have a residual trail. It does. It has a residual effect that can be left on people too. Yeah. Boom. Yes, Stephanie, honey, that's right. That's exactly right. That's what it is. It is. So let me take you back over here. We want to get out of this, but we was trying to... Oh, do we want to get a crystalline body? Is that what we want, a crystalline body? I'd like to have a crystalline body. Yes. Carbon-based crystalline life form. Oh, okay, I did want to say this one thing. Look. Oh, you all. What? Look at this. The shift from carbon-based to crystalline silicone structure bodies. Silicones? I didn't hear about. Now, did you all know about silicone? Now, why did they stick the word silicone in there, you all? Why did they stick the word silicone in there? Because I've only heard like crystalline structure. I didn't hear silicone. And for those of you who are into, the shifting of your body, upgraded to crystalline structures, have you all been heard about the crystalline silicone structure? Do you want a crystalline silicone structure body? Is that what you want? Sarah Barr, that's right, crystalline, but is 5D going to include a silicone body? That's what I want to know. Is it? Yeah, because that's what I'm talking about. No, I don't think you want a crystalline silicone body structure. Yes. Okay, so you may have heard it said that we were shifting from carbon-based to crystalline-based beings. Perhaps you've heard that there's more to our DNA than we thought, or that science has thus far been able to discover. And we were told that we were junk parts. Well, we're not junk. The human being is not junk. Okay, it's not. Okay, so this is fine. Oh, look at these pretty images of a crystalline structure, carbon-based to a crystalline-based body. The transformation. Yeah, I thought I saw some more silicone bodies, but look, we're going to click into this because I think, let me tell you about this. I'm sorry this is a little bit long of a video, and I just wanted to get on here and we're just going to surf the web together is what we're doing. Surf it and learn it. Research together. I think we need to know about these 10 hypothetical forms of life. I don't think it's hypothetical. That's what I'd like to say. No, when they say 10 hypothetical forms of life, they gave themselves away. They're telling you what the different life forms are. Yes. Yeah, I don't want a silicone, but that's okay. We're going to look at, let's look in this, because look at this. Let's click into this, you all. 10 hypothetical, this is not hypothetical, forms of life. Another hypothetical form of life that receives some media attention is an arsenic-based life. All life on Earth is made up of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur. But in 2010, in 2010, NASA, there you did it. NASA, you claim to have found a bacterium named GFAJ-1, which could incorporate arsenic instead of phosphorus into the cell structure with no ill effects. Well, this is really interesting, you all. We need to click into it, is what we need to do. Let's see what they want to say, because I don't think it's hypothetical at all. Now, you can see the space where this came from, July the 17th of 2015. Yes, hello there in Phoenix, Arizona. Yes. Yeah, that's right. So in search, this is interesting. In search for extraterrestrial intelligence, some have been accused of harboring a sense of carbon chauvinism, expecting other life forms in the universe to be made of the same biochemical building blocks as we are, and tailoring our searches accordingly. Here are 10 examples of biological and non-biological systems that stretch the definition of life. So, oh, look at this. 10 reasons alien life really is probable out there somewhere. Oh, well, they're talking about the NASA Cassini-Huygens. No, I want to, okay, silicone life form. Silicone life form, you all. Let me move myself to the side because oh, my nose keeps itching. My nose keeps itching, and I think somebody's talking about me. I really do. I hope I'm not on here, you all. Yes, thank you for coming on here. A silicone-based life form. Okay, we've heard of that. So a silicone-based life. I'm not going to look at that video, but I never did like the periodic table. I didn't like it. It's the most common form of alternative biochemistry explored in popular science fiction. In the case of the Horta from Star Trek. You all, I never heard of the Horta from Star Trek. That's really interesting. And the concept is an old one dating back to speculations that H.G. Wells in the 1894. Oh, wow. One is startled toward the fantastic imaginings, visions of silicone aluminum organisms. So why not silicone aluminum men at once? Wandering in an atmosphere of gaseous sulfur by the shores of sea of liquid iron with 1,000 degrees above the temperature of a blast surface. So silicone-based life form. Oh, you are in Africa. You watching it, Renita Baker? Hello. You so very welcome in Africa. I have a really good friend in Africa. Miriam, wonderful lady, and oh, was it Longabaden, South Africa. So we got silicone life form. Okay, other alternate biochemistries. Chemistries, yes, okay, what's that? Proposals for life like carbon and silicone. Boron has a tendency to form a strong covalent molecular compound. So boron atoms and hydrogen bridges. Okay, that's interesting. Look, another hypothetical. It's not hypothetical, and you know it. Received media attention is arsenic-based life. Arsenic-based life. So that's what NASA found. It could incorporate the arsenic instead of phosphorus into its cell structure with no ill effects. It thrives in the arsenic-rich waters of Mono Lake, California. Arsenic is poisonous to every living thing on the planet except a few microorganisms that can tolerate and breathe it. Well, how do they know that they can breathe it? How did they determine that these things in the Mono Lake, California can breathe and tolerate it? You know, there's probably something other than microorganisms down there. It really is. I've not heard of that Mono Lake in California. I wonder if it has UFO activity in it. I really wonder if it does. Let's see. Mono Lake in California. UFOs. Let's see about this. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess so. So look at this. Oh, they got look at this. A Mono Lake, a UFO vortex. Look at that. A UFO landing, Mono Lake, California. Oh, isn't that interesting, you all? So they like this arsenic-based life form. Ah. We got to look at this, you all, because now they had to talk about Mono Lake in the Sierra Nevada things. Shadow people. They got the shadow people. They got the woman. No, I don't want to look at that. The little people in the range of the light. No, we don't want to look at that. I wanted to look at the UFOs, you all. So they got a UFO landing in California. When an alien-like sand tufa met an alien-like UFO cloud. That's really interesting. So is Mono Lake near Mammoth Lake? Okay, so look. Backseat of Mono Lake. The driver noticed a bunch of X-type clouds in the sky, and they saw many white airplanes leaving contrails, but they weren't normal contrails. Look at that. 5 extraterrestrials. Mono Lake, where the mountains leak. Look at that. So, okay, so we got some UFO sightings at Mono Lake. All right, so we know that there is, there's stuff going on there at Mono Lake. So we got these arsenic creatures, beings, I don't mean to say whatever. And we got ammonia is now a life form. Okay, it's a life form. So we got ammonia. Any ammonia-based life form would have to deal with lower temperatures. Okay, so we got ammonia. Mimetic life? Mimetic life? What's that look like, you all? All life evolves by the differential survival of replicating entities. Well, you know what that sounds like. I think that sounds like plasma, how it has the ability to replicate itself. It really does. It literally replicates and replicates and replicates until some other type of plasma stops it. That's how that happens. Life needs to be able to replicate, and so do humans. Humans do it too, you all. We replicate by giving birth. You know, we replicate. So we're a life form. We replicate, and if plasma can literally replicate, that's like they replicate with some variation to be placed in an environment where natural selection and evolution are possible. Okay, so we got that. So an XNA-based synthetic life, the future of and past of you know what. So look at that. So look at this. Life on Earth is based on two information-carrying molecules, DNA and RNA. Whether it's possible that molecules, look at that, they can store information. So we see that. We know that you've done that. So they got all that. Look at all these things. 6 new genetic systems, HNA, CNA, LNA, ANA, FANA, and TNA. That's a lot of NAs. Okay, it is a lot of NAs, you all. A whole lot. So chromodynamic, weak nuclear force, and gravitational life. Well, there's so many different life forms out there. I don't know which one to... Oh, look at this. In 1979, scientist and nanotechnologist Robert Freitas argued for the possibility of non-biological life. Metabolisms for living systems are based on electromagnetism, strong nuclear force, quantum. So we got that. Let's look at this. Dusty plasma. Aw, you all. They're talking about one of my favorite subjects. They're talking about some dusty plasma life forms, you all. That's what they're talking about. Yes, they are. Isn't that so nice? That's what they're talking about. We're going to look at it. Yes, we're going to look at it. Yes, so dusty plasma life forms. Organic life on Earth is based on carbon compound molecules. Okay, so look at that. Particles of inorganic dust can be organized into helical structures which can interact with each other in a manner similar to organic chemistry. So look at this. Okay, so look at this. So this behavior occurs in the state of plasma, the fourth state of matter beyond solid, liquid, and gas, where electrons are torn from the atoms, leaving behind a mass of charged particles. So they have said that this is a hypothetical life form. We know it's not hypothetical, it's living, because look at this. Here's what they said. They found that as an electronic charges became separated and plasma became polarized, the particles in the plasma self-organized. They self-organized, you all. They're telling you what the plasma does. It literally self-organized. That's pretty cool. But I don't want to be taken over by dark plasma. Into corkscrew-shaped helical structures, electrically charged and attracted to one another. They were attracted to one another. Just like the human being, you all, we get attracted to other people. We do. So this plasma is attracted to other types of plasma. Yes, it is, you all. That's what it does. They could also divide to form copies of the original structure. See, that's what we've been seeing in the plasma. It literally replicates and it makes copies of itself, much like DNA, and induces changes in their neighbors. Look at that, you all. This is real. These complex, self-organized plasma structures exhibit all the necessary properties to qualify them as candidates for inorganic living matter. They are autonomous and they reproduce and they evolve. So the next time you're looking at that plasma and people are trying to tell you it's just whatever, no, you heard it right here. They've been studying it for years. It is qualifies as a life form, an inorganic life form. It's highly intelligent is what it is. Highly intelligent, you all. So they say, look, let's talk about this. While the helical structures forming in plasma may resemble DNA, resemblance in form don't necessarily mean resemblance in function. Furthermore, the fact that the heliuses self-replicate, they're saying it's no indication of life potential. Clouds can do that too, but their research was done on models. Now, granted, this is back from, how long ago was this? 2015. Okay, they've made a lot of progress, you all. They made a lot of progress on it. So let's look at this. So yeah, Look at this, just a special form of plasma crystal. Still, if it's possible that inorganic particles in plasma can develop into self-replicating, evolving life forms, they may be the most common form of life in the universe. The most common form of life in the universe. Thanks to the ubiquitous plasma and interstellar dust clouds throughout space. Well, of course they are. So I don't know what this Ichel's is. Wow, look at that. That looks like pretty neat looking, you all. That's what it looks like. Yes. Let's look at this, you all. What's happening here? We can get you. Abu Sedyau, are you a clone? Gina. Well, you know, there are clones. They have people out here, and I'm not a clone. I am authentic Gina. That's what I am. So what is this thing? Oh, I'm supposed to be back over here, you all. Let's look at this. So this is a life form called the Ichel's. Never heard of it. Never heard of it at all. It's a, look, they create living cells out of metals. Polyoxymetallates, a range of metal atoms linked to oxygen and phosphorus, and create cell-like bubbles that he calls inorganic chemical cells. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So we've got that, and we got von Neumann probes. Well, we know who you are. Michio Kaku. Yes, we do. I didn't know he was, oh no, that's John von Neumann. So look at this. So, self-replicating robots in space may be the most efficient way to colonize the galaxy. Oh, they want self-replicating robots. Oh, wow, look at that. Self-replicating. A von Neumann probe is a robot designed to reach distant star systems and create factories which will produce copies of themselves by the thousands. Oh my gosh, by the thousands. And the probes would live off the land. Oh wow. Using naturally occurring deposits of iron, nickel, etc. to create raw ingredients and build a robot factory. And they will create thousands of copies of themselves, which would then scatter and search for other systems. Wow, you all. Yes. Galaxy Traveler. Somebody's getting serious in here. You got to go. Yeah. Let me see this. We can do this, you all. This looks like is this getting out of control, you all? We're going to look at the next forms. Gaia hypothesis. So we got the Gaia. So let me get over here to what's going on in this live stream, you all. Let's see what are you all doing over here. That's what we want to know. Hello, moderators. Hello, bang, bang, muck, bang. Let's put Gina back on here. I want to be back on here with you all. Let me put me back in here and make myself. I'm going to make myself big. I can make myself big in here. We can come over here and look at this. Yes, we can. All right, bang, bang, muck, bang. You ain't King of Hookamundo. You got it going on. We got a lot of conversations going on. That's wonderful. All righty. You love it. So, hey, I've been on here around 5 minutes longer than I normally would have. That's wonderful. That is so wonderful. So we know that they want to create robots that can self-replicate and create robot factories and colonize other areas. That sounds kind of scary to me. Isn't there something in Star Trek, like they had like this white army or something where they had all these robots that they kept making over and over and over and over? Yeah. Yes, resistance is futile. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the army of clones. Was that in, yeah, the Borg. That's right, the Borg. Yes. Oki, you're probably right. Probably a long, long time ago. You all, I got myself right here in front of your comments. That's not nice of me, but I like to be over here with you all. I do. Yes. Ah, Eddie, honey, you are so welcome. I just got carried away reading about all those life forms and phosphorus, hydrogen sulfide, and earthquakes, and the gates of hell, and UFOs, and entities and stuff. Sarah Brennan, the party's starting. You're you're fed up and not getting thrown off the disco. Ah. Intelligent matter, that's right. Isn't there something like on the Transformers where they had that metal that literally it looked kind of like mercury if you were to spill mercury, but this metal, it literally could take on the form of anything and you'd never know. Yes. That's right. I forget what that was. I used to, I liked the first one or two. Sarah, honey, I only dance when I feel like dancing. And it's been a long time since I danced. I had to be in the mood. Yeah, the liquid metal. So if they wrote about it in the Transformers and then we read about this metal that can, I'm sure, yeah, kryptonite and all of that stuff. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Oh my goodness. The Terminator, that's right, King of Hucamundo. That was really scary, the King of Hucamundo, the Terminator. Yeah. All right, you all. Well, I better get off of here because I really don't like doing big, long videos because they're just well, I don't like sitting still that long to watch a movie. But that's okay. That's all right, you all. That is all right. Melinda. Yeah. There will be hybrids. There'll be transhumans. There'll be silicones. There'll be the Borg. There'll be all kinds of stuff. Yeah. You're welcome. I'm Brett. You're welcome, Vonda. You all, thank you for coming on here. Yeah, please hit that like button and subscribe. And we did go a little bit of digging on this internet, but it's okay. It's all good, you all. I learned a lot. It's nice and educational. You're so very welcome. Thank you all for coming on here. Thank you, moderators, for coming on here, too. Yeah, that's right. You're in the mood for dancing now. Well, honey, Gina not going to dance because I'm tired. I've been digging all day long, you all. Been outside working in the cold, but that's okay. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I am going to go, you all. Let me, can I do this? I'm going to do this. I am going to go. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. It seems later, maybe because I've been talking so long, but that's okay. I talk a long time. Yeah. So thank you all for taking time out of your evening to come on here. And like I said, I could have shown the webcams. I could have. Because you know what? It's all over the place. Those images are all over the place on the webcams. There's something up there in the sky, you all. There is. Let me show you something. I'm just going to come over here just real fast. Just one time. I'm going to show you this, you all. It's all over. So like, look here in this area right here. Right here. See, look at this. It's all over the place. These things, it's in the sky. All over the place, you all. There's something up there. There's something up there. I was supposed to be going, but I wanted to share. Look at this. So yeah, it's there. It's massive. It's there. I'm really thinking something's probably going to be coming, and I'm not so sure. I think this was part of a massive ship up here. Look at all these things that they got going on right here. See, this was really strange too. I'm not quite sure what this is right here, this one area. It's like this right there. See, why would that be there? But it's there. So we could have went on to the webcams again, but I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't. You can find it all over the place. So look at that. So why is that there? You think that these are coming out of like a Stargate or something? See, look at that. That's not normal, but it's there. It's all over the place. It's all over the place right here. This right here literally looks like there was part of a massive ship up here in the sky. I think they're interdimensional. I really do. Okay, that's about it, you all. That's about it. I'm going to put myself back on here. And I am going to say, I'm going to go. So, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours, love you. Thank you so much for joining. And I apologize. It's a long video. I normally don't do videos over an hour. If I can keep it below there, I most definitely will, because it takes a lot of my energy too, you all. But we know that there's all different types of life forms out there now. We do. And it's pretty interesting. And I didn't know these Uranus had hydrogen sulfide. And the smell of gates of hail in Turkmenistan. And UFOs and aliens with that awful smell on some entities, not all. So there is something to it. There really is. Okay, well, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you all so much again. Thank you, moderators, for everything that you do. Love you.